Lord Desai?
Now, I was going to suggest that whether Jaishankar is going to get the foreign ministry, because that would make perfect sense. He is a professional, he has been there for a long time, and he would save the Prime Minister a lot of time because he knows the subject backwards. So if Sushma Swaraj can't do it, it should be Jaishankar. It's a very senior position for a newcomer and not a BJP man, but still, his knowledge and his technique would bring in a great deal to the foreign ministry.
Indeed it would. And yet we've discussed how it looks unlikely, but then with Narendra Modi, you would never know. He believes in changing the template. He believes in being disruptive. And he may have a newcomer, a first-timer, who's not even won an election. He'll have to be brought in through the Rajya Sabha. Take a seat, take a position as important as that of the Foreign Affairs Minister. S. Jaishankar, of course, is the surprise induction here. Amit Shah, there was a lot of speculation on whether he will join the government or not. Now it's clear that he is very much going to be a part of this government. This 58-member team of Narendra Modi, 25 cabinet ministers, 9 ministers of state with independent charge, and then we have 24 others, ministers of state, who are taking over. This is happening at the Rashtrapati Bhavan in New Delhi on Raisina Hill. A gathering of 8,000 odd people witnessing this oath-taking ceremony of the Prime Minister and his new team. And the immediate challenge, as we've been pointing out, Amy Casman, we've spoken about agriculture, we've spoken about foreign policy, economics, but issues like health, issues like environment, issues like startups, issues like agriculture, which really touch the people, are also very important. And Narendra Modi has seen with every election that these are the issues that win elections, from an Ujjwala scheme to an Ayushman Bharat scheme. And he'll have to have people who can actually deliver in ministries such as these.
That's absolutely right. Actually, Modi has a lot of interest in some of these human development kind of areas. They're not areas that we necessarily think of as the traditional economic policy. But for example, he is clearly focused on trying to tackle some of these very important social challenges, such as healthcare. He started this very, very ambitious and complicated health insurance scheme, the Ayushman Bharat, which is trying to make, complicated medical care, emergency procedures, and tertiary care treatment available and accessible to the poor, to the working class people who in the past would have had to go into deep debt in order to access medical care, or may not have been able to access such care at all. So I think he has a lot of ambitions on some of these areas. I mean, when you talk about Swachh Bharat, the first term was very much focused on toilets, but I think, there's a lot of other areas, including the issue of air pollution. So India really is facing very, very complex policy challenges on all levels. And I think, Modi envisions himself as a great transformer who wants to really overhaul India, modernize the country, improve quality of lives everywhere. He looks at East Asian countries and aspires to get India to the level, maybe not of a Japan immediately, but certainly of a Thailand or a Malaysia. And at present, India really lags far behind in many of these areas, including health, including education, including environmental. And I think Modi sees himself as trying to tackle all these issues, and thus needs competent people who can handle many of these complicated ministries. So I think it'll be interesting to see, and we can only hope and wish the new government luck, because none of these challenges are easy. All the problems India faces are complicated. In tackling anything, there's always some winners and some losers, and I think they have to kind of really assess where is the public good, and are they willing to take tough decisions that may upset some entrenched interest groups, but in the larger interest of the nation as a whole.